A claps.
What it do, jive turkeys? It's Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I am here with this week's Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, Episode 25 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. First off, however, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who took out the time to watch my interview with Melody Cherie Holt. It aired this past Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Thank you guys so much. All of you guys were just so encouraging and supportive. And I just thank you for all the beautiful comments and for how well you said that I did. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. It is available right now to watch. Now let's get into tonight's review. So we start off the episode where we picked up, where we left off last week with the girls getting together at Stormy's house, and Stormy posed the question to Destiny, now that you know that Mel did speak to you, does that change anything? And she was like, nope. That nasty heifer. So she says to Kimmy, did you hear her speak? And Kimmy was like, yes. She said hi to both of us. And Kimmy goes on to tell her that her energy was just totally off, even when she and Tisha was trying to talk to her. Even her cousin was like, you were just so angry. I think that you just was on go, like pretty much. So, Melody then says, I think we just need to normalize that everybody don't have to get along. Everybody don't have to make up. People can just be, and it just be that. As long as, we can be cordial one another, let's just let it be that. Everybody don't have to be besties. And Destiny agrees, and they clink glasses or whatever. And I agree. Everybody don't have to be friends. Every friendship doesn't have to be rekindled. Sometimes people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And maybe their season is over. So at the end of the night, Stormy gives everybody Canvas beauty products, which was really nice. Destiny had been trying to get her hands on them products so bad. I bet you she gonna put every last thing that was in that box in that store. Because we know she ain't got no money to actually buy the products. That's why she been trying to shame her into giving her stuff. So as she's leaving out, Mel asks Kimmy, like, what's going on with you? I saw that you, got upset and was crying. Like, is anything going on? And Kimmy was like, I do have something going on. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But she was like, I want you to know that your concern means the world to me. Like, you have no idea. And Mel just hugs her and let her know that, whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. I love you. Things don't go no further than you and I when we talk. And you could tell Kimmy wanted to just break down and cry, but she held it together really well. After that, we saw that Marceau created a date night for him and Tisha at the house. He had a little charcuterie board and wine and everything. And, of course, she was happy because he doesn't do things like that. And she was like, why are you doing this? And he was like, because I want to be a better man. I want to be better for you. You might think that there's problems and I don't. But I want you to know that whatever your issues are, I'm listening to them and I validate them. And that made her feel good that he's been listening to her and trying to change. Then she was like, did it have anything to do with the couples retreat with Dr. Francis? And now all of a sudden, Marceau, out the blue now, feels like Dr. Francis was way too hard on Tiffany and hey. Haven't said that in a while. And that Dr. Francis is biased and was too hard on them, and everything that he said was right and everything that they said was wrong. But when he was there, he was team Dr. Francis, loved the fact that he was holding Tiffany and accountable. This is all a game to Marceau. He did this to ensure that he never has to go back and talk to that man again because he don't want to be called out on his bullshit. on his bullshit, and he don't want to continue to have these meetings and sessions with Dr. Francis. This nigga's so fucking whack. This whole little meeting, this whole little date night was the pitching point to get him to be able to say, yeah, I don't really like Dr. Francis. I feel like X, Y, and Z. Boy, I see right through you and that Cheshire grin of yours. But Tiffany and hey, are really being phased out on these last episodes of this season. Like, we haven't seen them hardly since the couples retreat. They won't be back next season. Mark my words, they will not be back next season. Now, you guys know that I watch this as I'm filming, and sure enough, when we came back from commercial break, Marceau says to Tisha that he feels that Dr. Francis is biased against men, and he doesn't want to continue on with therapy with him if they are going to have, couples therapy. So she was like, well, what kind of doctor do you want? And he was like, someone that we can learn from and see their marriage, and I don't want a perfect person because nobody's. Girl, he was just pulling shit from his ass, because in his confessional he confirms that he still is maybe considering therapy. And this fool just sitting there looking like, okay. Oh God, Jesus help everybody. So then Tisha tells him that she's planning a period party for their two daughters and other little girls to teach them about, menstruation, and make it fun and make it not a shameful experience, which I do think is a great idea. I wish stuff like that would have been available for when I was younger. Hell, when all of us were younger. Because it is kind of like a icky thing. You feel like, oh my God, like this is happening to me. And then you be nervous that other people will find out in your grade that you're on your peer. It's a lot. It's a lot on a young girl. You know what I'm saying? Marceau is just cringing in the face because, he's that type of guy. He's so childish. And he basically says that part of parenting is on her. Typical for him. Not surprised at all. But I do think that Tisha came up with a great idea for to introduce that part of life to her daughters. On camera, no, because that's super embarrassing. I wish that would have been something that was done off camera, because you got to think about this little girl, and kids at her school, and their school's gonna be watching. It's just a lot. After that, we see Kimmy and Maurice heading to her biopsy, and she's nervous, of course, because she has to get 2 lumps that were found in her breast biopsied. And if you've never had a biopsy, especially if you've in your breast, which I have, it's still fresh in my mind. I had mine at SLU here in St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis University Hospital, and they take you into this room. It's a nurse in there. The doctor is in there that's going to do the biopsy. They lay you on your side, and my lump in my breast was in my left breast. So they laid me like on my right side, and they placed like this paper towel type situation on your boob, and they numb your breast. And then they do cut you. It's like she said, it's a very, very small, tiny cut. The screen was right there in front of me. So I'm watching this as it's happening. And the doctor then took this really long needle, like long. I want to say it was probably like the length of like a rat tail comb. And you know how a rat tail comb, the ending is, it's probably like about that thick in width. And he inserted it into my breast. You see the needle poking into the lump, tumor, whatever. And then you know how when you get your ears pierced and the ear piercing machine does that, that's what the needle thing does. Like, it literally, he presses down on it and it makes that noise, and that's how they're taking the sample out. and they take the sample out. I guess they put it in one of the little, bottle things or whatever. They took several samples. After they're done, a nurse literally presses down on that area to stop the bleeding. They do that for maybe about 10 or so minutes. I can't remember. And then they bandage you up and you're out the door. I think I had my biopsy on a Monday or a Tuesday. I want to say it was a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And I got my results that Thursday night. I never forget. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock that night in August of last year that I got my results saying that I had stage 1 cancer. HER2 negative. Yeah. So it was like, whoa. But like I said to you guys last week, once I got my diagnosis, it was like almost like a sense of relief, because it's like, now I know what I'm dealing with. Let's get it cracking. It's time to fight. Kimmy tells Maurice that she's actually surprised at how fast everything has happened since she found her lump. And as I was telling you guys, it was a quick process with me. I found the lump on a Monday, was at the doctor Tuesday, and 2 weeks later I had my diagnosis. That's why I was so skeptical, and still am, with the whole Mia situation from the Real Housewives of Potomac. She's very vapid with the information. It's all over the place. And that's why I really side eye her in this whole situation that she's brought to the show. So Kimmy says in her confessional that she is a firm believer that Jesus takes care of her. And I was like, you better speak a word. You better speak a word, sister. She and Maurice say a prayer before heading into the biopsy. And, this Tuesday I have to have an MRI done just to further ensure that, nothing is going on, that my cancer hasn't come back. So I'm a bit nervous about that. But once again, like Kimmy said, I know God got me at the end of the day. So there's nothing to fear. So we then go to Destiny. She's having a photo shoot for her new song, and she invited Mel to come, and Mel came to support. And she was like, do I look like Big Bird? Because she had on this yellow, short, feathery dress. And Mel was looking like, she was like, you cute. And Mel was like, I had a yellow dress too. I looked like Big Bird or whatever, but that dress was god awful. It was ugly as hell. So she's, trying to get Mel to get in on the photo shoot. And Mel was like, I don't want to take no pictures. And Mel was showing her how to pose and everything. And they were actually getting along. It was like the old Mel and Destiny. It was really nice to actually see. A part of me wishes we could get back to season 1, Mel and Destiny, when Destiny first got on the show. But that ship has sailed. So, they sit down to talk, and Destiny says that she was worried about Mel when they left Stormy's house. I guess it was raining or something, and she was like, you can't drive, so I was worried about you, so I want to check on you. And Mel thanks her for that, which was very nice. And then Mel said that she sent Destiny a video of herself in her car, hyping up Destiny's song, and she wanted to post it and promote and show love. But then the Madani situation happened, and then, it just went to hell after that. And so Destiny was like, well, what do you think? Well, what were you thinking when I didn't speak? And Mel was like, that you didn't feel like being bothered, so I wasn't going to bother you no more. And Destiny in her confessional was like, for her to think after us practically throwing chairs at each other, and we hadn't seen each other since that incident, and she said she walked in and you speak like everything is good, but when the roles were reversed and you and Tisha were into it, and Tisha came to your event and you didn't want her there, it was a big thing. So why wouldn't you think it would be a big thing for me? And I can get what she's saying in that instance. You know what I'm saying? But the only difference for me is that Mel's event was not a cast event. The only person from their cast that was there at that event was Kimmy. It wasn't an all cast event. The Madani situation was a all cast event where everybody had to be there. But I still understand the feelings that Destiny had behind everything. So, but then, like I said, I understand how Destiny felt. But at the same time, I see where Mel feels like I tried to speak to you. You didn't speak back to me. So what else was I supposed to do? Yeah, she could have tried to talk to her again, but then that could have turned ugly and it could have just been a bad situation. So the whole thing is just messed up all around at this point. So Destiny was like, well, why do you think we're in this place? And Mel was like, for multiple reasons that we already discussed. She was like, I don't really care about what happened last year, because I'm just in a place of peace. I'm good. I don't want no drama. And you could tell that bothered Destiny because she wanted to rehash things again. But at this point, we're not going to agree. So what's the point of rehashing this situation all over again and then for us to end up arguing? Like she said, that's not what I came here for, So Destiny was like, well, how are you at peace about assassinating your friend's character? And Mel was like, you did that. You called me a liar and a manipulator. And Destiny was like, I definitely didn't say that. And she was like, yes, you did. And Destiny's like, you called me a liar when we had the little meetup or whatever. And then she remembers that she, in fact, did call Mel a liar and a manipulator. And they going back and forth, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, both of y'all at this point are in the wrong. It don't even matter where it started at this point. It's just a mess at this point. So all the pointing fingers and stuff is really redundant at this point. So Mel just says to her, look, I don't want to go backwards. If I see you out, I'm going to speak. We can at least be in a place of being able to speak to one another and be cordial and everything. And you could tell that hurt Destiny's feelings. And she was like, you love me, don't you? That's what Destiny said to Mel. And Mel was like, of course I do, but I'm in a place where I like being by myself. And you could tell that hurt Destiny, because Destiny, I feel like, honestly, truly regrets the way she handled their friendship. And I think that she regrets everything that happened, but they're so far into it that she has to stand firm on her place in things. And she refuses just to be like, girl, I did you wrong. I'm so sorry. Da 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 da. But you can tell that I feel like she's regretful and she wants the friendship back more than anything. And that it hurts her that Mel is so staunch on, yeah, we were friends. We are no more. I will never fuck with you like that again. And it's over, So Destiny goes on to say, we both went through divorces. I think that'll always, like some type of way pull us together or be a memory for both of us. And she was like, when we fell out, it was like I went through a divorce with you. And she was like, me and you rocked hard with one another. And Mel was just nodding her head like, yeah. And in her confessional, she was like, but that's what they are, memories. I don't even know the words. But anywho, so, at least they're at a place where they can be around each other. Don't know how long that lasts. I doubt it lasted very long. After that, we head over to the period party, and it was very educational, and just, I love the whole setup of everything. And in the midst of it, Maurice pops up, and Tisha was like, what is he doing here? So she goes outside, and Kimmy is there with him, and Kimmy unfortunately breaks the news that she, found 2 lumps, one in her upper part of her breast, and the other one, after, having all the tests done, was in her lymph nodes, and she has stage 2 cancer, and it's aggressive. So Tisha just breaks down and cries and just hugs her and tell her that she loves her and pledges to be there for her no matter what. And it was just very sad and emotional. I was crying. I know y'all was crying. It was just sad. It really honestly was to see. And Kimmy brought Macy, her niece, a little pouch to put her little toiletries and pads and stuff in. And that's when she got emotional and started to cry. And I just feel so, bad for Kimmy, bad for anybody that has to go through that whole situation. Yeah, it's just unfortunate all way around, but it's great that she has a support system around her of people who love and care for her, and that she's in the medical field who have great support and care and knowledge about everything. And that was a good thing on my end, that my cousin is a nurse. One of my close friend, Keela, is a nurse. My cousin then linked me with a young lady by the name of Ray, who herself had breast cancer, and she worked in the cancer unit at her hospital, so she knew a lot about, of course, cancer and everything. So it's great to have a system of people placed around you that will be encouraging, give you honest opinions and facts on everything. So, just God bless her. And I heard that she's doing a lot better. She's gone through all of her treatments and everything. So just God bless Kimmy, and I'm wishing the best for her and anybody else out there that's dealing with any type of illness. I'm praying for you all. So that was my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode a B plus. It was a B plus because it was very informative, from the period stuff to the cancer situation. And it was honestly nice to see Mel and Destiny have a moment of fun, but finalization on where they stand. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.